Welcome to ShadowMeTarot. I got a new delivery today, and let's see. I got this one. I did not realize this was going to be so big. This feels like, oh my gosh, I hope the cards are not enormous because I can't shuffle something this big. However, the reason I got this is because I felt like it would match. Initially, I thought it went with this book, but this is Wild Mystic Oracle Guidebook, and you can kind of see there's some similarity like in the artwork, just like on the page. And then I also thought it would go really well with this White Witch Tarot that has all of this kind of gold on it too. So I was like, oh, this is such a good like mix of things. So I am excited to kind of unbox this deck and see how it might complement these two. Without further ado, let's break the plastic here. It says Mystic Odyssey Tarot Deck and Guidebook, attuned to life's mysteries with the exquisite rendition of the classic tarot deck. Includes a slim hardcover guidebook full of detailed insight on the wisdom of the cards. 78 elegant archival cards edged in gold foil, 96-page tarot guidebook with interpretations for each card. And it says, gross green ribbon lifts deck out of its sturdy box. All right. And why do I feel like this is a large print? Like, this feels kind of large print. The box is super cool, but like jumbo, like super jumbo. Like, this is like a normal Oracle size box, right? So that's huge. That's a huge. All right. And you would think that these are like finger holes, right? To pull it out. But it's like, I guess that's what it is. But like, my hands aren't that long. All right. The guidebook, just like I thought. You know what? The guidebook is just like this one. See? Hardcover. Gold foil. I want to say same exact gold foil even. And here's the tarot deck. And here is, okay, so the book might be a little bit nicer, but they feel like they are set up in the exact same way, almost even similar font. Okay, I do feel like these are going to be complementary decks. All right. Okay, we've got a hard box inside with a normal size deck. That is a beautiful thing. I do wonder what I'll use this big box for. It is cool. It's pretty. It's cool. So hopefully I'll be able to find a purpose for it. I don't know. Box over here. Can't figure it out. Maybe there won't be a purpose if I can't figure it out. All right. So this does not have finger holds, but it's super easy to get off. Slides right out. Ooh, those are pretty pictures already. All right. We have our Fool card here. The box is very nice. The cards are very nice. The presentation is all very nice. Let's see. Table of contents. Reading the tarot. Reversals. Spreads. The Celtic cross. Let's see. Then it goes right into the definition. So it only gives you the Celtic cross and right into the definitions. And let's see what it says about reversals, because I don't see reversal meanings in here. So reversals, it says when you draw or deal cards from a shuffled deck that they may appear right side up, upright or upside down. Reverse tarot readers. Okay. Tarot readers may choose to interpret the cards differently based on their orientation. A reverse card does not necessarily contain a negative message, but it can emphasize the cautionary elements of an interpretation or represent potential obstacles an upright card might lead you to ignore. Reversals can simplify the process of learning tarot for many new readers while offering additional layers of nuance to more experienced interpreters. Some readers don't use reversals, incorporating all aspects of a card's themes into their readings regardless of its position. This guidebook is written with the intent to accommodate either approach. Each card has both positive and negative elements, and this book does not divide them into separate upright and reversed interpretations. However, if you use reversals as a cue to focus on the upbeat or cautionary aspects of a card, the text will be fairly clear about which is which. The approach you take is entirely up to you and the relationship you form with your deck. So single card spread, 3 card spread, and then I guess how they're doing the Celtic cross, I always think of one as Aquarian or myself. Two, influencing factors, things I always look at as like crossing my path. But it says here, it says makes your situation more complex, interesting, and or difficult. Three is conscious, thoughts, feelings, and state of mind. That is, I actually put the 3 down here, and I put, I go 3, 4, 5. So it's a little bit different for me. But here above the U, I always think of as conscious thoughts. I always think of below as subconscious thoughts. This is the past, and this is the near future. So I guess I like the way that I never really thought of this as being conscious, or I always thought of this as thoughts. And I always think of this as kind of like in your bases. What are the things from your history that you're bringing into a situation? But that would be your subconscious, right? You're reacting to things from your past, not necessarily the situation itself. So 7, I always look at this as the advice that I give myself. And it says your role in the immediate situation. 8, energy. External energy, you project and how others perceive you. So I always think of this as the environment and how people see you. 9, hope, dreams, and fears. And then 10, the final outcome. I guess the only thing that caught my eye is that the 2 as being influencing factors, conscious and subconscious. I guess I honed in on that vocabulary. But it looks like every one gets its own page. I do kind of feel like the pages are weak and like they're threaded. I don't know how I feel about that. I just feel like over time these threads are going to break. It already feels that way, but I don't crack books that often, so, you know, especially a hardcover book. This is a really nice book. It is a full color book. It has nicely broken them down into the suits, but let's take a look at the deck. All right, ladies and gentlemen, right off the bat, this is a thick ass deck. Like, so thick. This is my original tarot deck. This is like most, tarot decks are, but this is double the size of this tarot deck. It's double the size. Like, that's so thick. So I think, oh my gosh, good quality, thick cardstock. Actually really nice, thick, good quality cardstock, but so thick. And I like the drawing so far. We're going to do some comparison the best that I can to the original Rider-Waite. I don't know that this book is based on the Rider-Waite, but who cares? They're close enough. Whether it's Martial or Hermetic or Thoth, they all have some similarities. That being, the Fool is a new beginning. She's got this star. I'm interpreting this as a female card, but she's got like this kind of like Joker hat. So I feel like this, the Fool is kind of represented there. There is this looks like an astrological sign. I don't know what that is, but it's like an arrow with a couple of lines through it. I am feeling female energy, even though this could be masculine or feminine, because there's no breast shown at all, but it does have the longer hair. What I like in the hand is in her hand, it feels like how she wishes upon a star. And I feel like it shows kind of like inside of her drawing, like her connection to the cosmos, right? Our own interconnection to the cosmos, and how we kind of like put our heart in our hand, our soul in our hand, and we go out to find our journey. And I just do feel like this is like a wish upon a star kind of thing there. Very nice cards, very slippery. At least this part, but I feel like they are sticking together in here. All right, here we have the Magician, another feminine figure. I do see a breast, so I'm gonna guess that this is feminine. It has very high priestess vibe to it. So I don't really know what to say about this one, other than I do feel some high priestess vibes in this. I'm not seeing any infinity signs, which is kind of disappointing in that respect. But I do see a lot of like tapping into your intuition. I see some like stars kind of coming out of the hat here with the moon. This feels like a magic wand, but I'm not seeing the other traditional elements that you see with a manifestation or a magician card. Let's see what the High Priestess looks like. Okay. We've got our moon here that she's kind of like sitting on. She's in a meditative pose. Looks like she's got a lotus flower kind of coming out of her head. And I would definitely, it's definitely got like a pineal gland thing right here. Third eye, pineal gland kind of feeling I have right there. Definitely feminine energy. And this star in the middle actually reminds me of the star card itself. So I do feel like there's like something hopeful, like she's filling up her well of hope, right? Like by meditating and kind of communing with the ether or the cosmos or the universe or God, however you kind of interpret this kind of meditative or prayer state. Her eyes are closed, so I do feel like she is in a meditative state. Yeah, and definitely activating the pineal gland or the third eye. So that's what I see in that one. This one looks like a vagina. I'm not even gonna lie. I knew that this one was coming too because I remember seeing this in I just really went because the gold lines, you know, it matches the other decks. I really was like hoping that, but I knew that this one wasn't in here. It definitely looks like a vagina. I mean, what can you say other than that it's female. It's female. It's got the sun and the moon in one hand, in each hand. It has like a rising sun, I kind of feel like, in the reverse, in her womb or her hip area. She also has like this hopeful kind of heart thing, which is how I'm interpreting that star, even though I could be looking at the, let's look at the book. Let's see what the vagina says. The vagina says, the Empress says, the Empress presides over the bounty of life, nurturing creativity, abundance, and connection to the environment. We're at our most productive and successful when we love what we do and love ourselves too. Whenever you shoulder responsibility to make life better, you're drawing on the strength this card personifies. This could mean taking initiative on a big creative project, taking care of friends and family, running a business, tending a garden, or anything that combines leadership with love. It all makes a difference. That said, don't take on so much responsibility that you end up giving more of yourself than one person can. Seek out environments, people, and projects that rejuvenate and affirm you and focus your energies there. All right, so let's go to the next one. And we have the Emperor. There's not even a masculine figure in here at all. So I wonder if this is a completely feminine deck. No, it's not. So this Emperor has its own cycle. It has a moon cycle. The sun is at the center. I mean, I don't know what else I can really say about that, other than what the book has to say. To me, I mean, Emperor is a solid foundation. I don't really... I almost feel like the only thing you can count on is change, because I think of the Emperor as the foundation. So if we're going through the moon phases and that's a cycle, your foundation is a cycle, or your foundation changes. What does it say? Respect, security, and structure make up the Emperor's domain. Ideally, this figure exudes knowledge and fairness, wielding power to protect rather than harm. Identifying with this card may mean you put a lot of pressure on yourself to set a good example and keep things in order. That makes sense to you. Rules and discipline can be useful when it comes to getting what you need and providing for others, but what doesn't bend will eventually break. If you're in a position of power or you tend to take control, you may need to relax your grip. True leadership calls for compassion, open-mindedness, and empathy for those you lead. Consider easing up on yourself too, especially if you feel pressure to live up to high standards and expectations. You can be strong without trying to be perfect. I don't get any of that from that card at all. I think the book is decent, but not impressive. And that's just my opinion. The cards are interesting, but this doesn't really give me a whole lot in terms of how I would think of the Emperor. And I don't feel like the book gave me as much as I guess I would like. The only similarity here are the keys. Keys, I believe, are opportunities, right, for higher learning. Then we've got the staff has been maintained here as well. I don't know what the staff means. I should know what it means, but I do not. I do see either Saturn or kind of a Jupiter, but planets with rings here. It is a asymmetrical or symmetrical design, so both sides of this line are the same. Yeah, that's all I can say from that. And then we have the Lovers. Again, we have two feminine energies. We have the same planetary image that you have with the Hierophant. I wonder if that's a common theme throughout. It is not. Or at least not on the previous card. But it does have the same kind of... It has a little bit different arrow. It has a slightly different arrow here. But the planets are the same and these little dot thingies are the same. It's probably just kind of like design. I want to say that the hands kind of remind me of the snake, how the hands are kind of coming together. But and they're lifting love up. I don't know. Here we have the Chariot. It has I see the wheels of the Chariot. No animals in this so far. And then just the sun, I guess, is what's on the... Yeah. Okay, Chariot means movement. The Strength card. I don't know. I'm going to be honest. These cards don't speak to me. This is not my forte. I really like lots more clues. So I'm like... You know, this is very much an inner strength card, right? Your inner lion kind of coming out. I do read the card slightly differently than I would, but because I have few clues, it's really kind of like, okay, now I'm having to feel the impression from spirit as to what this card means. And this is very solitary inner strength. This is kind of companionship strength. And this feels very solitary strength, inner strength, like a real depiction of inner strength. I really like this card. I really think that this image is super interesting. It's interesting that they use this as the Hermit card. I don't really know what to say about these concentric circles, but it's almost like I mean, it looks like a flower, the base of a flower. This almost looks like the top of the High Priestess's head, right? It is like, doesn't that look exactly like the High Priestess's head? So when we go inward, right, and we reach out and we're asking questions to our higher self, to all-seeing, to the Akashic record, right, as kind of, I really do kind of like the interpretation of or how I'm interpreting this one. But this is just a very, it's a very interesting deck. I'd probably want to kind of know more about like concentric circles because I think that there's a lot of sacred geometry on purpose. I need to know more about the all-seeing eye, but it just kind of feels like God. It's like the eye of God. And the eye of God, you're seeking the eye of God from within, right? And you're growing it and nurturing it. Or growing towards it. Maybe even like caring for your inner light to grow closer to God. Okay, so those are feelings that I'm getting from those cards. The Wheel of Fortune. This is just a cycle and change is kind of how I interpret this card. Then we have Justice. Fair and balance is the first thing that kind of comes to mind with this particular one. These scales almost look like eyes that are closed. We've got these same planets again and the symmetrical kind of sides. I mean, they're clearly scales. I'm just trying to pull more interpretations that I can get. What else do I see? What do you see from these cards? What do you see? I feel like this is less severe. I feel like balance is like the only meaning that I would pull from this one. Where this one is more like clarity of thought and important communications, those kinds of sorts of things, I guess. Here we've got the Hanged One, and she's just being held up by her toe. Another feminine energy. The halo is actually represented back here. It looks like in more of like a sun kind of thing. I almost feel like this would be like an event that turns you upside down. I mean, like, we don't have this structure here, which is like, I know it has something to do with the Freemasons. It's like, almost looks like the number 4, or backwards, number 4. So that's missing from this. Yeah. I mean, I think of Hangman as surrender or sacrifice. I feel like this is more surrender, right? Because she's having to surrender to the hand. So, yeah. All right. That's a very cool death card. I love the regeneration of the snake. I think that's pretty cool. I like that they've used a moth to cover the mouth. There's suns in the eyes. There's space in the head. So I can dig this one. This is a cool transformational rebirth kind of card. Here we have Temperance, which I did like this one too. I like how these two basins are kind of sharing this water, and that there is the kind of something growing between it. Gosh, I almost look at this more of a love card than even the Two of Cups, right? Because you've got, if there's balance and there's harmony, then you have the ability to grow something beautiful with anything in excess, right? So even within your own self, if you are balanced and in harmony with your environment, then things around you will flourish. But for this one, because it's just two separate jugs and they're kind of got this flow between them and the excess drips down and into this flower, I'm like, this feels like a balanced, harmonious relationship that's fruitful to me. And then we have the Devil card. Here we have a regenerative, snakes are regeneration, right? So we've got the horns here for, I think, Capricorn. We've only got the feminine figure. We've got some space in the head or around the head. I feel like I only feel opportunity for growth in this card. I don't really feel much of like maybe some addiction stuff I feel from the card, but I almost feel like the darkness before transformation or revelation, maybe. I don't know. All right, and here we have the Tower. It's in perfect condition. It's got a beautiful plant growing in the center. Surprise. I always think of the Tower as a surprise, so something unexpected. And a growing flower in the center of an intact tower for the Tower card is unexpected. Then we have the Star. I don't know how I feel about this deck, to be honest with you. There's a couple of cards that I feel like I've connected with. I feel like the sun is blowing the moon's hair back. That's what it feels like. I do like that moon. I almost feel like this moon protects the dark side of it. You know, its darker side. The moon protects its darker side. All right, then we have the sun, which is traditionally happiness or inner child, self-confidence. Then we have Judgment. We've got the horns. We have the wings. there's no sun in this. But I'm going to say that the sun is this angel here. This always just kind of means an awakening to me. So, and then we have the world. It is a picture roughly of the world with the moon cycles around it and some sunlight. We have the Ace of Wands. You know, a couple leaves for new growth. It's just okay. And the crossing wands like that. I'm not sure how I feel about that. I feel like it's decisions to be made. What passion do you want to follow? The crossing wands is different, which different can be good because then I can choose, you know, but I can resonate with that one a little bit. All right, so 2 of Wands, I'm all right with. 3 of Wands. I think it's you've put things out there and you're kind of waiting for things to come back towards you, waiting for your ship to kind of come in. It's kind of, but yeah. 4 of Wands, sturdy foundation. It's okay. It's just okay. I'll have to spend some time and to see how like the darkness of these cards kind of seep in, and really kind of look at these cards. But these are just kind of like pip cards. More pip cards. 7 of Wands. The hand is holding this one, so at least this one has control, is controlled. 8 of Wands. I always think of this as all moving in one direction. I guess those are all moving towards one direction too. But I would almost say that this card, I would feel like it's coming towards you. Yeah, it just feels very much coming towards you. Here we've got the 9 of Wands protecting this bottle. I do kind of really feel like this is very much protective interpretation. And then the 10 of Wands, it's just a pip card. Then we have the Page of Wands, which looks very similar to an Ace of Wands. Why? All right, so here's this Ace of Wands. We'll put that there. And let's pull up the Ace of Wands here. And I'm just going to say this feels like lazy. It just feels lazy. I guess this is the spark of inspiration, and this is the action behind inspiration, but I just feel like it's lazy. That's what we're comparing it against. I don't know if this card's I don't know if this deck will make it. I don't know if I'll end up keeping this one. Just because so I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if I really like this one. I don't know. We'll give the whole thing a chance though. Okay, so here we have the Knight of Wands, and we've got two wands here and a sword on a shield. Okay, I'm losing interest. These are kind of like, they're just pip cards. She's got growth on either side. Inspired growth. I guess I can derive from that. The King of Wands. Let's see. Yeah. I got nothing. I got nothing for you on that one. Just a regular old King of Wands. All right, so here's the Ace of Cups. I'm going to cheat, and we're going to go... Why is this upside down? I bet I'm not the only person who sent these back. Look at that. I am not the only person who sent... Oh, I already said it. I'm going to send these back. I'm not the only person who sent them back. Alrighty. So we've got the Ace of Cups. And we've got the Two of Cups. These cards are so thick. I keep thinking I'm picking up 2 cards. Because they're thickness of 2 cards. Okay, so here we've got the Two of Cups. Yeah. We've got the heart for love in there. 3 of Cups, celebration. Yep. 4 of Cups, meditation. I like at least they give you a clue up here with the meditation. 5 of Cups. I mean, it doesn't really do anything like... And I don't know. Normally it's 3 cups down and 2 cups up. And here it's 3 cups up and 2 cups down. So, crying over grief, crying over spilt milk. Another pip card. Another pip card. We got some fish in here. So I think maybe this author thinks the 7 of Cups is Pisces. Nothing, all the cups are the same. Another pip card. Another pip card. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. I'm not a fan of these pip cards. I don't... And at least there's no hand in this one. But, yeah, it's less lazy. I'm being hard on this deck. I'm really sorry. I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, what's so special about it other than it's got like the same kind of lettering as like my cool cards, like these ones. But I'm realizing some significant differences. It has more usage of white, more intricate designs, and yeah, like I do feel like they're very similar in terms of how they were made. But all right, so we've got the Knight of Cups, Queen of Cups, another pip card. This looks just like the Ace of Cups. So really it's like reading a deck of cards. Like, why get this? I can read just a regular, deck of cards. See? That looks just like the Ace of Cups. Without the heart in it, just with a crown instead. I'm disappointed. I am. This is disappointing. All right, so King of Cups, pip card, Ace of Swords. Oh, we got some flower. I mean, that's the same. We got some foliage coming out of the sword. 2 of Swords, very similar to the 2 of Wands. 3 of Swords is pretty good. They're not crossed, but that's fine. I would say that that's a similar depiction. The heart is shiny though. Then we have 4 of Swords, pip card. The moon is my only clue that this means rest. Then we have the 5 of Swords. That's pip card. I wouldn't get this if you were a beginner. I would not get that. I would not get a pip deck if you're just a beginner. You want something that has like... First of all, the more clues that you have in a deck, the more fun it is to read it. Because you don't really even have to... You don't have to look at the book. You can just look at the pictures. I definitely prefer a card that gives me more to just work with. Part of the reason I collect tarot cards is just to really appreciate the artwork. And yeah, I don't know. If you're a beginner, I don't recommend this deck. I think there's so many other decks. it's not that I don't think that I probably wouldn't use this card deck. It just isn't. I'm sorry, guys. This one's probably going back. This is just a pip card here. This looks exactly like the Eight of Wands. Yeah, I mean, thoughts are daggers. They're all coming at you at that center there. But everything is on a cycle too. I don't know. Yeah. Page of Swords, lazy. Knight of Swords, lazy. Queen of Swords, lazy. I'm not impressed with the deck. I mean, it's an interesting idea, and if you like, you know, kind of repetitive symbols, and you're just reading, you know, just trying to get a definition for a card, like for me, the King of Swords would be like a logical person or a logical attribute. I don't know. It's a boring deck. It's a boring deck for me. So I'll definitely probably return this one. I'll shuffle the cards for you though. If this is something that you really like or that really resonates for you, please let me know in the comments below. I do have other decks, but I just like the White Witch Tarot too, which is kind of similar as well. There's so many designs and layers, right? So this is the Death card, and we know that this is made out of a skull, but we've got snakes here, and we've got a light snake, and we've got a dark snake, and then we've got faces here inside the eyes themselves, and then the eyes are different colors. And so from all of these different shapes, you can like pull so many different energy. I'm seeing a wing here. There's a hand coming up through here. There's a hand hanging on to another hand or something right here. So there's so much symbolism and things for my brain to kind of grab onto to find a meaning for drawing this particular card. Whereas I'm not getting that at all. This just feels like a very lazy deck. It just feels lazy. All right, we got Two of Pentacles, pip cards. Oh, Three of Pentacles. We put a crystal in there, let you know that it's an earth. It's earthy. Okay, we've got the Four of Pentacles with the snake there. Change in your finances? Like what's regeneration? What is up with the snake on the Four of Pentacles? Let's read the book and see what it says here. Might as well read one of these pip cards. This card is connected to material wealth and possessions. Perhaps you've earned success and affluence, a just reward for your hard work. While stability and security are important, hoarding and greed are unpleasant traits that will only attract negative energy. Can you see beyond material comfort and appreciate the simple things in life? If you value property over generosity, you risk alienating your loved ones. If you're hiding your money in a shoebox, you're sabotaging yourself. Remember, no risk, no reward. It's okay to drop a quarter or four into a slot machine once in a while just for fun. After all, you can't take it with you. I'm not impressed with the book or the deck. I'm so sorry. If you love this deck, I apologize. It's, you know, everybody has their own tastes, and this is just not mine. I mean, it is cool, but it's just not something I want to work with. It doesn't give me that desire to work with it. Like the other decks that I've kind of shown you that have more intricate kind of symbolism and things to activate my brain stem for a reading. But these just kind of feel like lazy kind of pip cards. Nine of Pentacles. 10 of Pentacles. Looks like Christmas. Christmas tree. Page of Pentacles. He's got a dream catcher on him. On his. Knight of Pentacles. Same as all the others. Queen of Pentacles. Same as all the others. King of Pentacles. Also same as all the others. Okay, so I'm so bored with this deck. But I'm going to do the right thing and shuffle the cards. I will do an Okay, for as thick a deck, it's not It's too big of a deck. It's too thick. But it is similar to the Wild Mystic cardstock. But these are just too thick for a tarot deck, I think. So I think as a review for this, let's see. The gloss makes these cards stick together. I think over time, it wouldn't take very long of working with these that you could kind of, I think if I just shuffled these and shuffled these for like an hour, they would stop sticking together. They do kind of need to get warmed up sometimes. But this is not a love affair for me. It will go back. It's going back. Looks like cards flip out okay. A couple of the cards I really, really do like this Hermit card that just popped out. I think it's an incredibly unique design. I just wish more of the deck was like that. I don't like pip cards at all. So yeah, it has a couple of cool images. I just kind of hoped for more than what this is. Cards do pop out pretty easily though. And working with them a little bit is definitely warming them up a little bit and making it a little easier. The edges are not cracking. Sometimes you have really papery kind of ones or cheap gold foil on the side. I'm starting to find I really kind of like this more like painted style anyways, because it doesn't chip off and it's not as sharp as like the gold or the silver foil, or gilding, I guess. All right. So we've shuffled this a lot. I'm going to shuffle this a little bit. Oh, it looks like it did get messed up a little bit here on the side. So just kind of, we've got a couple of them that it did that. So you can kind of, there we go. So you can see how it kind of chips on the side. All cards do that. I mean, that's the nature of how we shuffle. And most decks, if they're going to do it, they do it on the first day. So it doesn't make it any less effective than, it doesn't really bother me. I kind of like a deck that I know I can work in and wear out and stuff too. So kind of makes it more my own. I am shuffling this a lot because there's just so many cards. Or the cards are just so thick. Not even that there's so many. There's just the normal 78, but these are so thick. All right, let's see what all has dropped out of here. Let's go ahead and separate them all out. Try and get the things that stuck together apart. And then we'll do an interview with the deck. And since I'm not keeping this deck, I'm going to ask my questions slightly differently. What personality does this deck have? What is the personality of this deck? Ooh, inner strength. And what is your strength? What is your strength? I'm feeling a very masculine energy to this deck. Strength is meditation. And what is your weakness? We got lots of cards that are upside down in here. Oh well, we'll just take the ones that fall out then. What is your weakness? I'm gonna have to push them out. There we go. We got the 7 of Pentacles, so planting seeds. Maybe waiting. Patience, I think, is patience. The weakness is patience. How will you help users to grow? People who purchase this deck, how do you help them grow? By living in abundance, teaching them to live in abundance. Okay. And when should you be called on for guidance? When should you be called on for guidance? When should you be called on for guidance? Whoa. Okay. These all stuck together, but we're going to say, looks like when you're having, maybe when you're obsessing, because we've got the Devil card here, particularly on things that happened in the past. Oh, I feel like you're supposed to call on this when you have obsessing thinking over wishing the past were different. All right, I'm not going to deny. I really connected with that little reading right there. I really kind of did. But definitely when you're obsessing over the past and wishing it were different is when you kind of need to call on this deck for guidance. What is the best way to work with you? What is the best way to work with you? There's too many flipped over cards. You're going to have to just pop out the cards, Spirit. What is the best way to work with you? Eight of Wands, by sitting still. It came out in the reverse, which to me is moving quickly. But if it's in the reverse for me, I'm going to say that this is sitting still. And because most of the cards are in the opposite and it fell out in the reverse, because I think all of these are in the upright. I didn't really shuffle them. And it fell out in the reverse. I'm going to take it in the reverse. And in the reverse, I just feel like it means the best way to work with it is when you can just stop. Just stop. And when you're ready to stop. This obsessive thinking that's the best time to work with you. And what is your relationship like with people who use your deck? What is the relationship that you like to cultivate? What is the relationship of this? How do I ask this question? Because usually I say, well, what will our relationship be like? But in this case, what is the relationship like with this deck? What is a relationship like with this deck? What is a relationship like with this deck? What is a relationship like with this deck? All right. Embracing both your masculine and feminine, I feel like. So it's time for I feel like when you feel like you're getting screwed over is a time to kind of dive into this, kind of see all sides of everything. I do kind of feel like there's a creative element to this of the relationship. Number one, I feel like this is a very masculine deck. And I don't feel like me and this deck are going to have a relationship. I just don't. I think the Empress and the King of Pentacles are going to part ways. But I want to say an Empress is warm and nurturing. But I also don't feel like these cards are going to hold any punches. And I almost feel like you would use this. I feel like this deck has your back. I really do. I kind of feel like this deck has your back. It's tapping into both your masculine and your feminine side. It's going to nurture you. Maybe out of some... I feel like it's going to nurture you out of some toxic behaviors. Authoritarian, controlling, those kinds of things that kind of rear themselves up when we haven't dealt with our inner child, or if they're just kind of stuck in our unconscious. Like sometimes you stub your toe in the morning and you're fine all day, except for you're like on edge and you don't know why, and everybody else didn't know why, but you're just kind of like on edge. Well, your toe hurts. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, I kind of feel that this is going to kind of like nurture that hurt toe a little bit, give it a little extra attention, so that it doesn't have to wreck your day. That's kind of how I feel about this deck, is it soothes the stub toe. Okay, that's my that's my reading. If you liked this deck, please like, subscribe, and share. I am really kind of on the fence. This kind of right here kind of connected for me, these 3 cards together. So I'm kind of on the fence as to whether or not I will keep this deck. Let me know what you think, though. And also, if you could hit that like, subscribe, and share, those like, subscribe, and share buttons, that would be great. If you have time, throw me a thumbs up or a heart in the comments. Just let me know that you watched the video and you'd like me to make more, because Google likes those too and will raise me up in the search engine. So thank you all for watching. Thank you for spending your time with me, and thank you for your comments. Have a wonderful, beautiful, blessed day.